Okay, I want to do a comparison because I had 3 of these Swiss tools. I sold one just recently because I got one of each type that they offered. There was 3 different ones. This is my first one. I've had it for many years. I bought it when they first came out. I read a review. I liked what I read. Went out. This thing is probably installed 15 chain link fences. One of them for my mother, where a Gerber tool similar to it busted apart, as well as a SOG that was owned by my brother-in-law, both of which broke literally right here, cutting chain link. This one's done many fences, and it's had living tar used out of it. It's got a hacksaw on it that actually cuts metal, and I've been impressed with it. You'd never know for as stiff as this thing is, because it's really stiff. It's always been very stiff. But you'd never know it's been opened and closed as many times as it has been to feel it. But it's really had the tar worked out of it. And I just used it to cut weeds today, actually, because I had it out there. It's the only thing I had. This little tool here has been wonderful. Now that's changed on the new ones. They don't seem to advertise a lot of that, but it's not the only thing that's changed, and we're going to cover that. I'm going to go over that here in a minute, but let's cover the file first, because the new file is a lot thicker. As a result, it's less effective for cutting as a hacksaw. I've actually cut through pipe with this one just like you would a hacksaw, and it went right through it. It's a little more flexible. That may or may not be a good thing. This one's more flexible, the old one. I don't know if you can see the thickness difference with this camera. My other one's not working real well. But these are significantly different from one another in the way they're done as well. This one's cross-hatched, and this one's just one way. The new one's just one way. This one's crossed. As a result, I rate this one, the old one, the original, better. And I like it and wish they'd kept it. I also feel it does less damage to your fingernail opening it than this new one, which is so thick that it's actually in the way when you go to open it, and so you abrade. Something has to abrade almost when you reach in here, because it's just, you just hit, you know, it's just not as easy to get out, I don't think. And then it makes getting the Phillips a lot more difficult to get out for me than this one did, because I used to reach right here and grab the Phillips on this one. But that's not my main complaint. They're both very usable. My main complaint is the other things they don't tell you about. Because here's what you're going to see. I'm going to have to open this here. The new ones are a lot easier to open. The old ones are very stiff. If you can get past that, I like the old one better, and that's why I'm still carrying it over this new one, even though I got the new one with a pair of scissors on it, and the old one didn't have it. Here's another difference they don't tell you about. Look at the maximum the pliers opens. That's the widest that the jaws go on the new one. Okay? Here's the original that will literally open, it will enclose the other one. You can open it that much wider to actually grab a hold of it. Not only that, but it's a more needle nose plier than the new one. They've changed the shape, and worst of all, in my opinion, is that the old one closes much tighter. So you end up, when you compare them, this one opens, is that much farther wide. It's that much wider open that it overlaps off of the other. It won't close. This is wider in your hand, so it's just not as comfortable. This is a big difference. I'm sorry, but it's a big difference. I've got a good sized hand that can palm a basketball, and I find it to be much more comfortable with the old one. And I'm so glad I've got the old original because of that very thing and the plier difference. Because even though this has an excellent pair of scissors on it, and even though it's a genuine Vic Swiss tool and it's built to the same quality specs and everything's really super about it, I don't rate it as high as the original that I bought first. I also don't like the new sheaths as much. These are, in my opinion, I've got mine on, but this sheath, the original, not only fits the piece tighter to hold it in case the thing gets busted at the snap where it doesn't stay closed. Even if this gets knocked open, this isn't coming out of there. You have to physically pull it out. This one, the new ones, it's a thinner shelled case. It's not as heavy duty. And, you know, honestly, the worst thing about it is that it falls in and out of the sheath. I liked it grabbing it better. I don't know what people complained about because that thing's so heavy. You don't want it falling out and dropping on your foot. I doubt you're going to lose it and not know it, although in the right setting you could. But this one just fits tighter, it's better, and when you weigh these sheaths, I'm not going to take my belt off to do it, but the old sheath is heavier than this new one. The tools by themselves, when you weigh them on the postal scale, this new tool with the scissors is heavier. I don't remember the weight difference, but it's heavier. And let's look. This one was 9.7. That's the original. And this one is 10.1. Now if we put this one in the sheath, it's 11.2. And it's 10.8. Now when I put, like I said, I don't want to take it off, but when I put the original that is at 10.8 in my sheath and put it on there, it weighs 11.2. So that's how much difference there is in the weight of the sheaths. So one of them's lesser material than the other, and the new one is the one that's thinner. So that too, I don't think the sheath rates as high as the new model of the Swiss tool either. That's just my opinion, but it's my findings after buying 3 of them. I like the original much better.